What's up guys, it's Caitlin B and welcome back to my channel. I am still back in my hometown of Minnesota, but I'm going home tomorrow. It will not stop snowing. But shout out to the OG room. I was about to set my reading goal for 2023 in the app Goodreads, which is one of my favorite apps for reading. I highly recommend it. I will link mine down below if you want to go follow me over there. But one of my favorite features is that you can make a reading challenge, a reading goal of the year, like just how many books you want to read and track your progress. It makes it so addicting and it's so fun to track. But as I was about to set my new goal for 2023, it got me thinking what my other reading goals are for the year. So I thought I would just sit down, film my 2023 reading goals. This year I want to switch it up and do a couple other goals besides just a quantity, because I feel like that can get a little overwhelming. At the beginning of 2022, my only reading goal was to read 60 books, because the year before that I read 52 books was my goal, and then the year before that my goal was 12 books, and I ended up reading like 48 books that year. So I just wanted to slowly increase that goal every year, but obviously that's not sustainable long term to just like keep having the quantity go up and up, at least not for me. So I did hit my reading goal of 60 books last year, but I did find that there were times that got so stressful for me, because I was only like, when you're tracking it on Goodreads, it's like, oh, you're behind 2 books this month or whatever. It just gave me so much anxiety feeling like I was constantly behind last year, because I feel like life just got so busy and I was constantly behind on my reading. So this year, my first reading goal is just to read 52 books. So I am still setting a quantity, like a number of book goal, I guess, this year, but that's 1 book a week. Again, it was my goal for 2021, and I feel like it was so much more doable for me to just read 1 book a week. So I'm going back to that goal, and then if I end up reading more books, then I mean, that's amazing, and then I will feel like so accomplished. But if I don't, then at least I won't feel guilty. 52 books, that is my first goal. My second reading goal is just to be more conscious of the authors that I'm consuming this year. I really want to explore more diverse authors and actually take that into consideration when I'm picking my books. And with that, I also just want to discover new authors this year. I feel like I tend to hyperfixate on a certain author or genre, which, I mean, hello. And honestly, I do not regret that. It made me like get really into reading and kind of help me. It's helping me discover what I like, what I don't like, and I kind of run with that, and that's great. But now that I'm entering like my 4th year of religiously reading, I just really want to explore more authors from diverse backgrounds. I feel like when I'm looking back at the books that I read and the authors in general, which I normally just don't even think about the authors that I'm reading, to be honest, which I want to be better at. I really want to expand my horizons this year and just discover new storylines and new ways of thinking, and it's just not all the same types of people and types of stories, you know what I mean? It's kind of like in real life, like surrounding yourself with the same type of people. It gets redundant and boring. I think that's really important to do so, and let me know your favorite authors down below, because I need some recs. My third reading goal this year is to explore new genres as well. I'm so scared. I feel so content and so safe within my little bubble of romance, rom-coms, and mystery thriller. That is just like my jam. That's where I stay. But as a book talker, I feel like it's my duty, okay, to expand that a little bit as well. So I really want to dive into the fantasy genre a little bit. I'm still really terrified and intimidated by that genre in general. I feel like it's not for me. I really don't like when it comes to movies in general. Like, I don't really like fantasy or sci-fi really. I don't know if it's for me, but I feel like I won't know unless I try it. And obviously there are so many series that people rave about, and I feel like I need to see what all the hype is about. I also want to dip my toes a little bit into the more like literary fiction. I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy. It's not, I don't think it's also for me. I've never been really interested in that. I feel like that's kind of what put me in reading slumps in the past, and just kind of bleh. But again, there are some books that have been coming out that I feel like are more my speed and just seem interesting to me. So I feel like I'm going to explore that a little bit more instead of just same old genres that I go back to, because honestly it gets so redundant and I'm just sick of the same storylines. I feel like every book that I read in like the romance genre lately has been the same, and that just kind of puts me in a reading slump in general. So I really want to make an effort this year to just switch it up and keep things interesting. So let's keep it fresh. Backpacking off of that, my 4th reading goal is to finally dive into the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't really know what the actual series is called. I think that's just like one of the book titles name, but ACOTAR, I think, is what we're going with. Okay, so many of you have been screaming at me for years to start this series. I swear every time I post anything about books, it is just like always in the comments telling me to read it, that I would love it, and I guess we'll see this year. So I'm gonna be reading it. I'm gonna start it at least and see how I feel. It's very intimidating to me. The books are so long. I like shorter books, you know, like 350 is kind of my jam, but it's okay. I've done it in the past. I feel like when a story is really good, then the page number doesn't even matter. Like, you're just so invested in the story. So I would love for that to happen with me, if I just get so into this series and then I don't even realize that I'm like 700 pages in. But I'm ready. I think I'm ready. So let me know if you want any reading vlogs of me just first time reading the ACOTAR series. I think those are really fun to watch. I love reading vlogs. So let me know now if you would be interested in that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna read it on my own anyway. And my last last reading goal of the year. This is probably gonna sound shocking, but it's to not finish at least one book this year. Now hear me out. I just need to DNF a book once and for all, okay? I've never been able to do it. I've just been someone who's never been able to start a book, read it, and then just decide that it's not for me. Like, there's been so many times, don't get me wrong, that I'm reading a book and I hate it and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever read. I hate my life. It'll take me like 2 weeks to finish a book because I just do not want to pick it up, and then I end up just not reading during that time because I'm just so over the book. Have I ever been able to actually just put it down and just start a book that I think I would actually like and enjoy and just spend my time so much better? No. No, I have not. Why? Because I like to self-sabotage, clearly. I don't know what it is, but it's something, especially when it's a really popular book. For example, Beach Read by Emily Henry. I know a lot of people love that book, and it was all over Book Talk a couple years ago. I was so excited. I thought the cover was so cute. I started it, and I was immediately like, this is so boring. It was so boring to me. But for some reason, I just could not just put it away and start a new book. And I think it's also because so many people were talking about it that I felt like I was missing out on something, and something was gonna change, something profound was gonna happen where I'm like, oh, it all makes sense now. Like, now I see why people love this book, and I'm so glad I stuck with it. But honestly, 10 out of 10 times that never happens to me. If I don't like a book, if I'm not gelling with it, it never ever has once turned around for me, okay? This happened to me also with The Idea of You. I've heard so many people talk about that book, and I really thought there was something that was gonna happen. And then even when I posted about it that I was not liking it, people were like, no, but the ending though was so crazy, like the very last line. And then I read the last line and I'm like, you know, no. That has happened to me so many times. I just waste my time reading something that I don't like when I could be spending that time enjoying a book. So this year, okay, mark my words, I need to do that. I mean, hey, if I, for some reason, just love every book that I'm reading and don't have to do that, then that's amazing. But yeah, odds are that's not gonna happen. If you watch my 2022 like tier ranking, every book that I read, which is my last video, I will link it down below. There were, I think, 5 books that I absolutely hated that I read last year. So I could have spent that time reading books that I actually, you know, enjoyed. Please hold me accountable. I need to just put a book down if I don't like it, you know, just be okay with that. Replace the FOMO with some JOMO. So those are my 5 reading goals of the year. I'm so excited to hear what yours are. If you have any of the same ones, or if you just have a time goal, like you want to read 10 minutes every day, I think that's amazing. Get into audiobooks this year, whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. If you want some book recs, if you want to get into reading this year and you just have no idea where to start, maybe you just got a Kindle or in general just need some good book recs, then I will link my Kindle Unlimited guide down in the description box below. I created this guide with all of my best book recs, and all of them are on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have a Kindle and that subscription, then you'll extra love it. But you can also get the guide solely as just a comprehensive list of book recs. And I've categorized them by genre. So I have my top 10 of all time, spicy books, romance, mystery, thriller, authors that I love, as well as series. So I will link my guide down in the description box below. My next video is actually going to be my 2023 most anticipated reads of the year, including new books that are coming out, like new releases, as well as just books and series that are like absolute must that I must read this year. So I'm so excited. Also, I will link my book club down below if you want to join us as well. But that is it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one.